There we go. Can you hear me? There we go. Is that Cosmin? What's going on, Cosmin? How you doing, man? How we doing today? What's going on, guys? Can you hear me? Can we see me? Am I good? Am I coming in clear, straight? Hold on. There we go. How we doing today? There we go. All right. Hey, what's going on, Laron? How you doing, Cosmin? A user XXX. How you guys doing? We just had a hilarious situation. Let me hear about it. Thanks for the heart. Appreciate you. Gotta sleep. Love you, Jace. Wish you upload all on YouTube. We'll watch some time. I will. I picked up my last paycheck after 15 months and saw my old female coworker who I would flirt with. Okay. So like old job type of thing. Yo, Jay, sometimes when you go live, I don't get a notification. In fact, most times. I don't think TikTok is the best at giving notifications, but that's fine. The way I think about it is like, whoever it's meant for, the person will find it. If you found it now, even though you didn't see a notification, then that's a good thing. Count yourself lucky. What cologne is that? Oh, this isn't cologne. This is my button for the lights. So, no, not cologne. Let me know the secret sauce. That's funny. I keep telling people, if you want to use cologne, use Swiss Army. It's the best scent for, I would say, most men. There's a few men that'll smell weird on, depending on your own personal body odor. But if you have an abundance of testosterone, it'll go well with it, you know? Well, now that I think about it, that wouldn't be most men. Yeah, if you have good testosterone, high enough testosterone levels, you should be fine. Plan on going out tonight as long as I can wake up after a nap. Well, set an alarm. Left one of my girls the moment I got a notification on your live. That's what's up. How you doing, Asami? Welcome. Long time no talk indeed. Your boy has been in the zone, so to speak. But yeah, I'm coming. I'm peeking my head out back into civilization a little bit. What's going on though? How we doing? You guys know what I'm here for. You guys know what I'm all about. You guys know what kind of questions you should ask me, which is pretty much any kind of question. So let's get to it. I'm gonna be here for a little bit, so let's get this started. And I'll really do my best this time. I'll really try to get to every single question before I leave. Okay. Let me tell the gang you're live. Appreciate that. Hey, Fish Army, how you doing, man? Fish Army, you're growing old, kind of slow, bro. For real, Fish Army, what happened here? You're usually the first three. What you slacking for? Got a girl in the week. In 1 week, I was just being me. There's another religious girl, so it's very hard to talk. Okay. To her one-on-one, should I just still be me or try to move in fast with the little time I have? Why is there a time constraint? Why is there a time constraint there? Why do you only have a week? What's going on there? That's one. Two, you changing the speed of how quickly you advance things shouldn't change your personality or change who you are fundamentally. You don't have to not all of a sudden be a different person because you want to speed things up. That doesn't make any sense. It's still you. You're just moving at a faster pace, right? Usain Bolt doesn't change who he fundamentally is if he decides to open up his stride. You know, just it's you, but just working faster. Hey, what's going on, Dorcas? How you doing? I was reading The Mystery Method, as you should. That's a great book, isn't it? The Mystery Method is a wonderful book. What's going on, San Andreas? Welcome. You need advice? Go ahead. I'm doing so good right now, drowning in girls. I had this one girl I trained to make me pull other girls. Did you now? That's wonderful. That's ideal, honestly. If you want to be lazy about game, that's the best way to go about it. You get another girl to do your hard work for you. Well, at least the initial work, that introduction / just bringing her into your space without having to do the work yourself. Sure, that's awesome. That's actually one of the best ways to go about doing it. I keep telling people the best wingmen are not men at all. They're women. Get your wing women. They're better. Can you talk about how to turn off plausible deniability? Why do you want to turn it off? Why? You don't need to. It's not necessary. Do you want her to begin to take responsibility and hold herself accountable? That will come down to how you make her see your world, how you make her behave around you and stuff like that. She'll naturally self-edit as you go, as long as you remain the kind of guy that she wants to keep impressing. But for the most part, especially in the beginning, women are going to want plausible deniability, and it makes sense. It makes perfect sense. Why would they fuck with anyone that doesn't give them an out or a way to save themselves or save face or find some kind of comfort? It just makes sense. It makes sense. You wouldn't go scuba diving without a full tank of oxygen. Right? Okay. Maybe we shouldn't be too mad at women that want plausible deniability when they're dealing with us for the first time. It makes perfect sense. And this girl literally opened all her friends to me, and they're all bad. I got 5 girls in the rotation right now. Good. My boyfriend is overly jealous. Boyfriend, okay. Okay, dog house, that makes sense. Is overly jealous and obsessed with me. I want to leave him, but he's not letting me go. That sounds like you should call the cops. That doesn't sound healthy at all. Won't let you go? That sounds like you should call the police. What the hell are you talking to me for? Dial 911, goofy. What are you doing? I'm just gonna come on my live talking about something. He's holding me hostage. Call the cops. When is the next group call, by the way? Tomorrow. Tomorrow's the next group call. Oops, not turning off bad English. Oh, bad. What did you mean then? Hey, what's going on, Ryu? Been a while, man. Been a while. But I'm back into civilization now. When the date ends, how do you tell her to come home? You don't tell her that when the date ends. The date ends after you've already done the deed. Well, okay, I'm getting too ahead of myself. Here's the point. You should think about going to her place or her coming to your place, however you want to set it up, as a continuation of the date. All right, so when you get to that location that you agreed to meet on prior to, you sit across from her, you ask her your questions, you create sexual tension, and this is important. You have to consciously create sexual tension. This is after you've already vetted the girl. This is after you've already, allowed the frame to settle in, as in your higher psychological position. You've already established between you and her that there is mutual attraction going on. Again, sexual tension, right? That's what sexual tension is. After that, then you go, you know what? This day has been fun. I really do enjoy spending time with you. Let's continue this at my place or your place, whatever the case may be. And then from then on, it just becomes a game of logistics. That's usually what happens. It becomes a game of where do you go? Whose house is closer? What are the obstacles, if there are any, surrounding how to get there? So if you both drove there, maybe we leave one person's car behind, you jump in the other person's car, or she jumps in yours, whatever. Or whatever your logistics look like. If you got there on the bus, on the train, that's going to look a little different. If you came in within walking distance, that's also going to look a little different. But the point is, let's keep spending time with each other. Let's just do it in a more private location. That's the frame. And then from then on, you find yourself in the sex location and you do your thing. But that's how you should do it. It shouldn't be like a big deal. It shouldn't be a massive ceremony like, oh, I'm about to ask her this thing. Like, it shouldn't feel like that. It should just feel like, I'm talking to you here. Let's just do this, what we're doing, but in a different location. And preferably one where it's just two of us. That's it. How do you make clear the responsibilities on you? Oh, I see. Oh, that's the case. That makes a lot more sense for Charmin. I knew you knew better than that. You just say that. There's no trick to it. You literally just tell her, "Don't worry, it's all gonna be on me. If anything bad happens to you or me, I take full responsibility for that." Like literally saying that. Like, don't worry, you're with me. You're under my protection. Everything is going to be fine because I'm here. And if anything goes wrong, you can always blame me. Just say it like that. I plan to meet with a church girl next week. Any tip? Every girl is a church girl if you ask her, right? Maybe not every girl, but what makes her a church girl? Did you meet her at church? Is that what you mean? Or is it a girl that literally every other sentence mentions Jesus Christ? Like, what makes her a church girl? Because this might just be a girl that's normal, but for whatever reason, you're putting her in the religious box. So let me know, like, what makes you think she's a church girl? I had an interesting date 2 days ago. Let me hear about it. He's always sending folks to beg on his behalf. Oh, the boyfriend? I mean, that makes sense, Dokas. Olubodun. Okay, you're Nigerian. That makes a lot more sense. All right, you're a bad girl. Listen, your boyfriend doesn't want to break up, but you've already broken up. You know, so he doesn't want to let you go. Of course he doesn't. If I came and took your phone, just, hey, give me your phone. Will you not chase me? Why are you acting surprised? You ripped away something from him that he found as valuable. That's a compliment to you. That's not a bad thing. What advice do you need there? You're smarter than that. You took something away from him that he wanted, and he still wants it. Surprise. Let the man suffer. He's already suffering enough. You've told him your piece. Keep moving on. Give it a few more weeks, maybe months. He'll find a way. We'll move on. All right. Let's see. Spoke with Asil about it, but I need your perspective. All right, go ahead. Time is constrained because her parents travel and now she's with her aunt, but she's still kind of strict. So I can't talk one-on-one with her easily. We're in a different culture. I don't see what that has anything to do with time, though. All you mentioned, if anything, was cultural constraints. Why is the time short? What makes the time short? Her parents traveled, okay? To where? Why? And how does that affect you talking to her one-on-one? He's taking my phone from me. He took your phone. That's a lie. So if he took your phone, what phone are you using to talk to me now? Hey, Dokas, you're a funny one. He took your phone. Is it your friend's phone you're using? He's a madman now. I don't know how to tell you. It's your fault. Why are you dating madmen? Why are you dating Chris people? That's so funny. Bro took her phone. That's so funny. Bro took her phone. Anyway, I don't know if I heard your answer to the phone call question. What phone call question? There was no phone call question. Why tomorrow? I gotta go to another city tomorrow. Oh no. Do you guys prefer tomorrow or do you want a different time? Let me know for the call tomorrow. How do you define persistence and neediness? It all comes down to what behavior you're going off of. So this is how you do it. You gotta go back to my definition of chasing. What do I define as chasing a woman? Is when you keep showing interest in women when they've shown disinterest, right? Think not everyone's gonna get this reference, but think Steve Urkel chasing, what's her name? Darla? I can't remember. His love interest in the Family Matters show. There's always that one character in the old 90s sitcoms and cartoons that just really loves this other character, but the other character, usually a girl, is just not giving him the time of day. And is even going out of her way to let him know that there's no interest there. But he's just hopeful and, one day I'm going to get her, right? That's chasing. When you continue to show and indicate interest, when you're getting this interest back, that's chasing. That's neediness. That's chasing. Because chasing comes from neediness. The need to keep trying to get something that's clearly giving you signals that it doesn't want you, that's neediness. Persistence is different. Persistence is you're showing interest, she's showing interest back, but there's obstacles in the way. Right? I'll give you an example. Like a practical one. Imagine a girl that hasn't done anything to show any disinterest. In fact, she's showing interest, but there's something in between. Maybe logistical issue, maybe emotional or psychological hiccup on her part, maybe some other things, social barriers that prevent her from going forward with you the way you would want or at the speed you would want. At that point, you wouldn't be called needy for wanting her because you'd be right in your assumption that something good can happen there. But you also would need to go and try a little harder to get her on your side once you get past whatever obstacles that may be. Like, we're talking about church girls here. Perfect example. Church girls are honestly just as horny, if not hornier, than regular girls. But to get them to the point where they're willing to open up, you're probably going to have to do a lot more work to get them past the point of guilt and shame, because Christian girls in particular, they're shrouded with guilt and shame when it comes to anything sex, right? So you're probably going to have to do a little more work to get past that point to get to the good stuff. And that is what we would call persistence, because, again, it's not like she'd be telling you, no, I don't want you, no. It'll just be like her trying to argue that you can't have sex because Jesus said so, or whatever other excuse she comes up with, even though she's not necessarily saying she doesn't want to fuck you. You see the point? But yeah. Is ASD a matter of persistence? ASD meaning, I have no idea what ASD means. I've probably heard it before. I have no idea what that means, but let me know. Call or schedule a call when wanting to call a girl you met from online or in real life. Honestly, the best thing to do, because I've experimented with this over the years and I've found success, anti-slut defense. Oh, okay, good. I've never heard it being called ASD. Just write anti-slut defense. But yeah, anti-slut defense would be a matter of persistence, right? Like, the reason a girl won't want to go forward with you is so that she doesn't want to feel like a slut. That's a very valid reason. No woman wants to feel like a slut, not even the actual sluts, right? No woman wants to feel easy or want to lose social status, especially not in front of their friends. I can tell you so many stories of I've run into a group of women and I pick out my target, we're talking, blah, blah. Maybe I go in for the kiss a little too soon and then she pulls back. All right, she's showing disinterest. She's putting her hand away from me. I try to put my hand on her lap. She's like pushing it away. The moment we leave her friends and we go to a more private location or even just a second location in general, all of a sudden she's all up on me. She's kissing me, rubbing me. She's twerking on me, all those things. So does that mean that if I had kept going at that point when she was still in front of her friends that I was being needy? No, it just means I was socially uncalibrated. I was doing the right thing at the wrong time. She didn't want to look like the easy girl in front of her friends. She didn't want to have the reputation. So all I had to do was the socially calibrated thing, take her away from the friends, let the freak out. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, absolutely. ASD is a very good example of that, anti-slut defense. Back to the call thing. So I've experimented with a lot of things when it comes to making that transition from texting a girl to finally giving her a call. And there's really only 3 ways that work consistently. The first way is honestly the most spontaneous way, which is by surprise, right? You're texting, the texts are flowing, the texts are nice and good, and you're getting that solid back and forth going on there. You probably wait a good day, maybe 2, just to really create that tension, that anxiety in her of like, oh my God, will I ever hear from this guy again? And then boom, you call out of nowhere. Maybe you have an idea of her schedule by that point, so you know when to call and when she's more likely to pick up. Obviously, if you're talking to her a little bit, you might have an idea of like what she does for a living, for instance. So you'll probably have a good idea of when she gets off work or something like that, right? When she gets off work, college, whatever. And then you can call and then have a phone call that way. That's the one way. The other way is you kind of hint at it like, one of these days we have to get on the phone, all right? And come up with whatever reason you want to. I want to finally meet this dog you've been telling me about. I want to hear the sound of your voice because I just bet your voice doesn't match your face somehow. Whatever fucking thing you want to do. But for the most part, those are the 2 best ways. The third way is you kind of create the situation while you're texting her so that you have to call her in the moment. So talking about something, you create excitement around something, whatever it may be, and then apparently that thing is so exciting, you're like, I'm just gonna call you and figure this out because there's no way I heard this. Like, imagine you ask her a question about her childhood, what's the most interesting thing you did as a kid, and then she tells you in the text, like, it's a long-winded text, but it's a full-blown story about this crazy thing she did. At that point, you have every right to call her and be like, what the fuck did you just tell me? It becomes a nice little inside joke between the two of you, right? So don't think about it too much. Like, I wouldn't say to schedule a call. Like, what time are you free? It shouldn't feel like a business transaction. It shouldn't feel like, a job application or whatever. It should feel spontaneous. It should feel natural. It should feel fun, How do you demonstrate one and not the other? What are we talking about? Oh, persistence and neediness. Again, it all comes down to what you're getting in return before you're giving. Like, so if the energy you're getting is disinterest, then probably don't push forward, right? At the very least, make sure you're showing disinterest back before you do anything else. And then just make sure that whatever you do from that point on is contingent on her compliance towards you. How do I get over a breakup with my boyfriend? Emmanuel Gerald is a guy with a boyfriend? Is that what we're asking? Is this like a gay relationship, or is that just a girl who's named Gerald? I have no idea. But I think the way to get over a breakup is the same way for everybody, no matter what type of situation you're in. And that's give the relationship time to like be mourned. Grieve your relationship. It's okay. Grieve the loss of your relationship. Treat the relationship like a dead relative and grieve and mourn that relationship. Really give yourself time to enjoy the thoughts and memories of the relationship. Really reminisce on it. Give yourself the grace and the space and the period to just like feel all the emotions out and then go from there. As persistence can be projected incorrectly to look like neediness. The only time it's projected incorrect, it's not that it can be projected incorrectly, just it can be projected at the wrong time. That's pretty much, it's like the same things you do to be called persistent are the same things you do to be called needy. The only difference is the context. That's it. So that's what I mean by wait for whatever she gives you. She's giving you this interest, then make sure you're not showing interest back. That's what matters the most is the context. Like, a random fucker can give a girl flowers on the street and she can call it creepy. But if it's the guy that she wants, then it becomes sweet and thoughtful and she feels special. That's the point. It's not about the action itself. It's about the context. And with all things with game, that's really how it works. The actions are just like you can make all these different, tiny little adjustments and variations on what kind of actions you want to give. But for the most part, it's the context that really matters. You feel me? Yeah, I missed you, Philip. How you doing, baby? Let's see. You got a man. What's going on, Roberto? I have no idea what that means. About the responsibility thing, when do you say the whole blame is on me stuff? Before compliance tests or progress up the ladder? Honestly, that's usually something that will... It'll show in the way you treat her throughout. It's something that'll happen naturally if you're the kind of guy that actually takes responsibility for women. So the moment I'll give you an example. This is something that'll happen usually. I will go to a restaurant with a girl, and then I'll purposely tell her, "You sit here, I sit there," and then she might be like, "Wait, why? Why do you want me to sit there?" And I'll be like, "So I can look at the exit." Because I need to keep us safe, and I need to be able to see what's going on and whatever's coming into this restaurant. I just told her without saying it out loud that I'm here to take care of you. Does that make sense? It's like simple enough. Well, there you go. Even when I tell you guys about coming in late for the date and then showing up and be like, my bad, showed up late. You know what? Everything today is on me just because of how late I showed up. That I'll get the first round of drinks, right? What do you think that's doing? What do you think that's communicating to her? That's telling her in a few words, okay, this is a guy that I can place my life in the hands of. That's essentially what you're doing. So it's gonna be in everything you do. It's not just like one thing you gotta do or say. How do we get cheeks while living with parents still? You gotta be creative. You gotta be fucking creative. all you need is a private location, whatever that may look like to you. And, that's going to depend on what kind of resources you have available to you, what kind of access to certain places you have available to you. But for the most part, if I tell you the places that I've done things in, you'd be like, what the fuck? I've done things in cars, back of buildings, the woods, trailer parks, abandoned trailers, fucking at one point I was dating this girl that was working this job where she was always the last person to leave. All right. And she would literally invite me to through the back door to be at a particular corner that was a blind spot for the cameras just to make out and stuff. So, when there's a will, there's a way. Get creative. Get fucking creative. I didn't meet her at church, but sometimes when trisexualizing the convo, she sneaks in Bible and Jesus thing. Oh, so only when sexualizing the convo, then she's not a real church girl. See, that's what I was talking about right there. Perfect example right there. Real church girls are all about Jesus. If she only brings it up when you're trying to fuck her, when you remind her that you have a penis, then she's not really a church girl. She's just a girl that's trying to protect herself from you by using Jesus. That's it. She's not a real church girl. She's just trying to use the spirituality thing to create a barrier of some kind between you and her. Which, by the way, tells me that you're doing something incorrectly. All right, because if I was the one in front of her, Jesus would just never come up until I brought him up, because I rock with Jesus. But you're clearly doing something wrong. You're doing something wrong somewhere. Check the attraction levels. Check if she actually finds you attractive. Check if you're doing the right things. Check if you're actually creating sexual tension the right way without it being too overt or direct. So this girl broke up with her ex of 2 years, her first boyfriend, about 3 weeks ago. Okay. She developed a slight siren side, but has always been a sweetheart. Makes sense. I was her first date since the breakup. She got over it, but was still emotional. Okay. You kind of abandoned that topic, wasting my time. Let me know what the rest is, though. I'm curious. Any tips for game at 5-day camping trips? 5-day camping trips? That's just so vague, though. What's the context? Are these people that you're going to camp with? Because if that's the case, this is not a cold approach situation. This is warm approach. Honestly, by the time you get there and you meet people, even if they're people that you don't know, it becomes warm approach by day 2, day 3. Strangers, still warm approach. Yeah. So you're meeting strangers for 5 days. You're camping how? What are the logistics there? And what are the chances that you can keep seeing the people that you meet there after the camp is over? I would say go in clean, go in with the intentions to just do your whatever camp thing, and then take numbers. Take a bunch of numbers, Snapchats, Instagram, stuff like that. I've thought about the protector provider thing. Do you think the only difference between the two is the what? Oh, is the certainty she feels around them? That's part of it. Yeah, that's a big part of it. The behavior between both guys inspires both certainty and uncertainty in women. Protector gives women uncertainty and, instability and unpredictability, excitement, if you will. And the provider is Mr. Stability. The provider makes women feel certain. So yeah, that's part of it. And obviously there's an inextricable link between uncertainty and tension. So the more uncertainty a woman feels around a guy, the more tension she feels around them, the more likely she's attracted to him, or the more likely she is to be attracted to him. As opposed to if she feels nothing but stability and comfort and assurance around the guy, then there's no chance for tension or excitement, and as a result, no attraction. Let's see. She developed I already read that one. TikTok must be blocking my questions. They might be. So be creative and write them in a different way so TikTok doesn't see what you're saying is wrong or bad, But the more I talk to her, the more she's lighter. Oh, okay. In terms of the whole Jesus thing, that's fair. When her parents come back, the chances of meeting, let alone talking to her, is almost impossible. Oh, if that's the case, especially because I can tell you're young, right? If that's the case, leave her alone. The last thing you want to do, this is for my young kids, right? The people between, I know there's people as young as like 16 sometimes on my live, right? Anyone below the age of 22, so 16 to 22, you might think, oh, I'm 22, how am I being grouped with a 16-year-old? Trust me, as far as dating is concerned, you're all in the same fucking age group. But 16 to 22, all those people. Here's my biggest advice to you guys. Don't rush shit. If you ever have a choice between do this now and urgently or don't do it at all, choose to don't do it at all. It's going to be very hard. I know I'm asking you for a massive toll, but one thing young boys at that age lack in general is just discipline and patience. Is learning how to wait for the good things. You fuck up because you rush things. If you're thinking, oh, I gotta get it in now before her parents come in, you're going to fuck it up. You're going to do things incorrectly. I would rather you be the one guy in her fucking phone, and trust me, you'd probably be the one guy around her age group, right? In her fucking phone that'll be like, oh no, it's fine. We'll find another opportunity. It's okay. We'll see each other. We'll see each other some other time. Give it time. No 16-year-old talks like that. None. But that's why you should. That's why you should talk like that. You feel me? Let's see. I don't know if she tried to reject by sticking Bible. Oh yeah, I don't know. Yo, Jason, long time no see. Just won a medal for you at my soccer tournament. Thank you. I appreciate your valuable contribution. Well done. Shout out to you. All your hard work paid off, and I'm proud of you. Let's see. Will you repeat my question for me if he walks over it with yours? Please, type shit. So basically on the date, going into it, my value was already high. Got good energy from her. Lots of teasing, playfulness, disqualifying her, getting her to qualify and tease me back. Good. On the location of the date, cafe/bookstore, we were sitting down and I escalated touch a bit. Went from hug to holding hands to kiss on the cheek to touching her thigh. I did those touches after she gave me fun answers to the deep personal questions. Very good. Then once we went outside to a different location, she was like, I like the touch, but it was too much for me. Slow it down, don't do it at all, or don't do it at all. And then I stopped, obviously, moved to more locations, built more comfort. Very good. Later on in the day, she told me she had a bad experience with a guy touching her earlier that week. And also then gave me one of her rules, which is I don't hold hands or kiss anyone until they're my boyfriends. And I don't have sex unless it's my husband. Then I laughed about it and dismissed it. Good. Kind of like how I just did. Said it was BS and moved on from that, but was also a bit shocked and not sure how to handle it. My question is that disinterest or just anti-slut defense? And does that mean she was thinking of me in an unholy manner, which is essentially an indicator of interest? You literally answered your own question. That's literally what happened. She for a second, imagine what it's like to have sex with you. Because here's a general rule you should remember. Women don't do that whole auto rejection thing where they go, nothing for you tonight. I'm not the kind of girl that does that. They don't bring that up unless the possibility of sex is in their heads. So the fact that they're bringing it up, that means already you should assume they've imagined what it's like to be with you naked. You've won. Boom. They on a subconscious level, they know that you have a penis. Mission accomplished. We don't want to necessarily shove it on them, right? Let's chill out with that. But we do want them to be aware of it, right? Okay, that's one. Two, I like the fact that you laughed and dismissed it. That's my natural behavior whenever women say stuff like that, because it's always funny. Like, these are my rules. Shut the fuck up. So I'm happy you did that. But then on top of that, when they do bring that, always do two major things. One, do your best to play it off and minimize it. It's never a big deal. Like, oh, I have all these rules. Her rules are, listen, let me tell you why she never respect all these goofy rules. One, they're designed to keep other men out, not you. You are the exception to the rule. Two, they're always made from a place of fear. This is the creature we're dealing with. It's women. They need these rules to keep themselves safe in their head. Your job is to remind them you're not the danger that they need to keep out. Like if it was me in that situation and the girl was like, this is how long I gotta wait to hold hands and whatever, this is how long I gotta wait to have sex, I would just be like, listen, it's okay. I get it. I'm an attractive guy. you don't know how to act around me, and you feel like you need to put up all these walls to keep yourself safe. But you gotta trust in the fact that I have self-control, and nothing bad will happen to you as long as you're with me. That's one. Two, you have to understand that you don't have to use all these artificial rules to try to control the pace of this relationship, because we don't even know, what's gonna happen. I just met you. I like you so far, but that doesn't necessarily mean I might want to see you again. I still need to know a little more about you. I still need to understand who you are and see if you actually have a real personality as opposed to like a fake curated one. So let's not start thinking too far into the future to the point where you're imagining both of us naked. I haven't decided on that yet. I would literally say that. Like, that's my go-to thing to say. Because one, it's usually true. Two, who the fuck told her that just because she has rules means I've automatically decided I want to fuck her? How dare she think that? You see what I'm saying? So always treat it like it's not a big deal, because it's not. It really isn't. Just dismiss that shit, play around it, give her the, I'm not completely sold on you speech, and then go from there. Let's see. Can someone record the call for me? Yeah, someone record the call for Asami tomorrow. Let's see. I don't know why, but I ain't got problem getting chicks at home. My mom a G, and I'm just a what to actually do it. Oh, pussy? Oh, fair enough. Well, why don't you do it? Why don't you do it? What kind of day the PUA that was promised? Have you come to bestow Igbo wisdom? Yes, I have. Yes, indeed, I have come. Igbo kwenu. That's what Asil showed me based on something written in Revelations. So yeah, tell me your thoughts. I already did. You guys already know what I'm thinking. What's your thoughts on Jack of all trades, master of none? Do you preach the message of being a specialist versus a generalist? The full quote, and a lot of people don't even know this. This is actually from a book. I can't remember what the name of the book is. But that quote, the Jack of all trade, master of none, is from a book. But this is the full quote that no one ever talks about. This is the other half of that quote. Jack of all trades, master of none, is still better than master of one. That's the full quote. The full quote is, to be well-rounded and well-balanced is still better than to be the guy that's hyper-focused on just one thing and knows and can do nothing else. And that's not even my opinion or just the quote's opinion. Look at life. The people that we love and respect the most are people that are multifaceted, multidimensional. To be human at its core, right? The human condition, if you were to choose to experience it to its fullest potential, is to be multidimensional. Is to be good at a lot of different things, right? Is to be at the very least above average in a lot of different things. That's how you have a happy life. A hyper-focused life is an imbalanced one, right? Now, am I saying that it's bad to specialize at anything? No. You should specialize in some things. You should achieve mastery at least one thing in your life. Like, goddamn, at least one thing. Achieve mastery. And it's important because you want to understand and appreciate the amount of effort, work, time, and patience it takes to achieve mastery at something. I respect other professionals at other stuff that I don't even really understand because I know how much work it takes to do something. All the ups and downs involved in going from unconscious competence to unconscious competence, or conscious incompetence, to unconscious competence. It's grueling work. It's painful. It's hard. And there's a lot of adversity and resistance involved. There's a lot of self-doubt involved too. So being able to go through all that and achieve mastery at something, it definitely creates a more confident human being. With that said though, don't just dedicate your entire life at achieving mastery at just one thing. Achieve your mastery, sure, but then go and get good at other shit too. You have a fuller life that way. Something to keep in mind. That's why a lot of these athletes, they go through years of playing their sport and doing just that, and then they have to retire at some point, and they're just lost. They go into alcoholism or spending all their money on prostitutes and drugs, and they just fall into a weird depression because they have nothing else to do, because they they have dedicated their lives to one thing and they never opened up themselves to the possibility of other things. You don't want to be that person. I've seen those people. They're not people you want to admire. You feel me? Let's see. I'm gonna get some wood cheeks, boy. Hell yeah. The woods are actually one of the best places. It's in nature. I support all sex in nature, by the way, in case I haven't made myself clear on that. The woods, the beach, gardens, anywhere on the grass, anywhere outside in nature. Just watch out for ants, though. Watch out for ants, wasps, bees, skunks, and bears. No diddy, of course. She's like, stop scattering my hair now. But it just makes me want to play with it more. So I just continue. Should I actually stop? No. She's telling you that because she wants you to continue. Nigerian women, you know how they are now. They stop begging me. Now they beg they want. You know. Hey, I love Sammy's delusional confidence. Sammy came in fucking 40 minutes later talking about something first. I like that, King. Well done. That's what I preach, baby. Delusional confidence. Where do I start to win in the dating scene? I know I need a mindset shift to get what I want. First of all, I have an entire course dedicated to that mindset shift. It's called Self-Belief, and it's completely free. Link in bio. Second of all, the shift happens when you begin to merge your preferred reality with your current one. That's when the shift begins to happen. When you really, truly stop seeing that version of you that you achieve or that you aspire yourself to be as something in the distant future. When you begin to marry that version of you with your current self, magic. That's when things just start happening. It's kind of weird. It's kind of freaky, actually. But yeah. What's up, Jace? I have no question today. Just in here to learn from what others are dealing with. Type shit. How you doing, Econox? How you doing? What's up, G? How you doing, Dom? What's going on? What should you do or say if your girl is sad and tells you bad news of her life? My brain always empties when it comes to that. That's funny. Well, you need to be the one to help her process the bad news and allow her to feel all her emotions and just be the rock. The advice in general is to be the rock, is to be the one thing in her life that isn't going to shit. Because when bad things happen to women especially, they begin to associate that with every other aspect of your life because for them, they're all interconnected, right? I mean, it's interconnected for everyone, but for women especially, it's like very interconnected. So if she feels like one part of her life is going bad, she's going to begin to nitpick all the negative aspects of her other parts of her life to, really take on that role, that identity of a victim. Women love to victimize themselves, by the way. So your job is to be the one part of her life that doesn't make her feel like a victim. That's it. Be a good boyfriend. Rub the small of her back and tell her everything's going to be fine. Let her cry on your shoulder. And allow her to really feel her emotions, man. This is a time to just stay there, shut the fuck up, and let her vent and all that. You feel me? When she's trying to speak to text after the date is set up, what does it mean? Attention dragging. When she's trying to speak to text after the date is set up, attention dragging reassurance. Because last time I accepted texting more, she ended up flaking on me multiple times. We never met. Well, okay then. How about you tell her we'll talk about all that on the date if you're so concerned about that. Tell her we'll talk about all that on the date. You really shouldn't be texting a girl or talking to a girl much after you set up the date anyway. From that point on, all the motivation she has should be to just see you in person and I get all her questions answered that way. So yeah. When she straight up insults you, try to chip at your confidence. Do you clap back playfully or not? Playfully for the most part, or just take it like a champ. You can clap back playfully. You can take it. My best thing to do is ignore it. Honestly, you never feed into that kind of stuff. I treat my time like fucking Bitcoin, right? I do not give it where it doesn't need to be given. So if she's for whatever reason insulting me or whatever, I might even just straight up turn around, go talk to someone else, or just leave her alone, whatever. Because I'm not gonna allow someone to treat my time like it's not valuable. This is assuming it's like a straight up insult, obviously. You don't. I think a lot of men take what women say, even like the teases, as an insult. I've seen a lot of guys be like, she insulted me. And I read the text and it's like, this is an insult. This is just her trying to burst your balls. There's a difference. Let's see. Damn, I got new features for my mod power. Oh, do you now? That's dope. You say have delusional confidence. How do I have delusional confidence without having the skills to back it up? I literally have an entire course about that called Self-Belief, link in my bio. Go check it out. It's completely free. I matched with this girl, set up a date to get ice cream at 8 p.m. She accepted, but she later on said it was too late to get ice cream, so I told her let's do 7 p.m. instead, and she told me it's still too early because she may be hungry for dinner after. She then went on a rant about how my date wasn't well planned and that I should find another date. I told her, nah, if she don't like it, she can leave. She replied she doesn't mind, so I left her on red. Was it a good thing to not compromise in that situation? I'm wondering why you didn't. Like, what's the issue? Well, I mean, don't get it twisted. She's a terrible communicator. I mean, most women are. But it was very clear from the first thing she said, she had a problem with the date. You know, maybe a problem with the date itself, a problem with the time of the date, whatever. You could have just asked. I keep telling guys, it's okay. You don't have to guess. A lot of the guesswork, a lot of men feel like they have to do guesswork for whatever reason. I blame those old school dating coaches that tell men that they have to just know everything like magically. It doesn't work that way. This is an entirely other different human being. If she has a problem with the date that you are both going to go on, literally ask, well, what's the problem? What's going on? What's wrong with the date? You know, and then she'll tell you what her grievances are, and then your job as a man is to problem solve. Okay, too early, too late. Let's go to this time, that time, or just go on a different day. The date itself is an issue. Cool. Just do something different. You know, the fact, because here's the thing. Before you go and say, oh, but she was rude, blah, blah, it's like, yeah, sure, she was, but that's because you weren't getting the hint, obviously. Before you even say any of that other stuff, remember that the fact that she went out of her way to tell you what was wrong, or at least try to, not that she did a good job, but she was angry enough to tell you that she thinks your date planning skills are poor. That tells you that she was excited to see you. Did that click yet? It probably didn't, so let me say it again. The fact that she was willing to complain means that she liked you enough to want to see you. She wished it was under better circumstances. It's like they say in business, right? The people that complain in your business are the people that actually give a fuck about the product or the service, right? You're never going to hear people that would never patronize your business complain about something very specific within the business. That just doesn't happen. So the fact that this girl actually went out of her way to be like, you know, let me talk to your manager, right? That's that Karen energy, that customer service energy. I mean, that tells me the girl likes you. And she probably still does, even right now. But for whatever reason, you decided I'm going to be Mr. Rigid and not compromise. Like, setting up a different date or adjusting the date itself, the time, the location, doesn't take away from you being a man. I hope you know that. And I hope that's not how you think. I hope you're not going through the world thinking, well, I have to make sure, like, it's okay. It's okay. Like, all dating is making adjustments. I can tell you so many fucking dates I've had in my life where, like, on-the-fly adjustments needed to me. I can tell you stories of, I set up a date. Turns out that place wasn't open on a Sunday, and the date was for a Sunday. Had to make an adjustment on the fly. I can tell you another date about this particular time that we went there, and they were supposed to be closing in 10 minutes. Didn't know. Had to make another adjustment on the fly. Like, and those are the ones that where I actually met the girl and we ended up going to the place. You know what I'm saying? Say it again for the people in the back. Type shit. Like, for real. There's so many things that happen in dating and in dealing with women and talking to girls on the fly. That's just, it's mostly going to be logistical, right? But it's normal. Expected. It happens. Like, okay, imagine you went to that same ice cream place, ice cream parlor, at that particular time you set up for, and then it turns out it was closed. Do you then go, well, I can't compromise. I have to. Like, come on. You're better than that. All right? Let's see. I'm on day 8 of 30-day fast. I've been working out and working, but I have no energy left after. Is there a way to boost my energy? You don't need to boost your energy. Trust me. That's all your energy is going into, keeping your homeostasis, your lymphatic system, and your body going into autophagy. So you don't need a burst of energy. You just need your body to maintain the energy that it does have. Because it's burning yourself to have energy to keep your functions going. That's what's going on. Don't worry about your energy levels. Besides, you should be like completely still, just meditating. Anyway. Let me see. There we go. Beautiful. Thank you, Jace. No problem, man. No problem. My mom kind of infused fear and sex into one. What? I feel like she kind of mocking me every time I bring girls over. Some toxic behavior, no disrespect, mom. Oh, with like your mom not wanting girls to, not wanting you to bring girls over. I mean, that makes sense. Nobody's mom wants them to bring girls over if you live with your mom. But your dad wants you to, though. Keep that in mind. Let's see. Road to mastery for MMA type shit. After how many attempts of the girl not reacting to your flirting do you change? Do you charge to the game? If she's not reacting, like I also need like context. Is this a girl you see in person or a girl online? Because if it's online, charge immediately. But in person, hot girls they usually come with something we call the hot girl blasé. Like the really hot girls are not just gonna start flirting with you off rip. They might act like you don't exist for like the first minute or so. And you just keep spitting your game, and eventually they'll begin to turn their body towards you, and then you can start talking. That's what they do to like test your confidence at first. It's very normal. Looks like you were right. I still appreciate you, man. Type shit. I've read half of the 50th Law, and it's so good. It's a great book, isn't it? The 50th Law by Curtis Jackson and Robert Greene. No problem, brother. Indeed. Also, I want to start approaching again, but I've been more irritable and I've been experiencing some brain fog. How do I push through? My last 3 approaches were buns. You're doing your fasting right now, right, Sammy? Go through that first. You need that reset. If you're talking about brain fog, that means there's definitely something going on with your diet. So the fact that you're fasting right now, you're on the right path. You're ripping your mind out of the NPC state. That's good. I noticed that girls respond to me a lot more when I'm barely putting any effort. Yep. What about? Oh, I guess that's a different one. But yeah, that makes sense. The whole point of game is effortlessness, right? Especially at the advanced levels. The entire point of game is effortlessness. That's why the pinnacle of game is pickup, cold approach. Because how can you make yourself look like you're not putting in effort, even though you're the one making the approach? That's why pickup is fucking G. That's why it's king, and that's why anyone that can do it essentially has a superpower. Right? So, yeah, that's the whole point of game. Then I have to leave and listen to your answer to my question next live. Thanks. No problem, man. I'll see you around. What about being an asshole makes girls so attracted or chase so much? It's the ability to disagree. It's the risk-taking ability. It's the ability to offend or the willingness to offend women and not care. Speaking your mind. The entire point is assholes' validation are a lot harder to get for women than nice guys, right? A nice guy will tell a woman straight up that he thinks she's the most beautiful thing he's ever seen. And the woman will say thank you, but deep down, she doesn't care about his "you're so beautiful" statement because she knows that she got it easy. She didn't have to work for it. The asshole, on the other hand, will tell her that he thinks that she's kind of fucking ugly and will make fun of her giant forehead. So that on the day he finally tells her she's beautiful, it actually means something. That's why assholes are exciting to women. Bro, I kind of feel like the other DHV leader of men is kind of useless. Whenever I built it into stories, it feels like it does nothing. It's not supposed to feel like it does anything, but trust me, it does. It's all subtle. It's all very, very subtle. It's stuff that you plant in there that she's not even supposed to consciously be aware of, but eventually she's gonna pick up on it. It's gonna be like, oh, yeah. Okay. Put it like this. It's like what I keep trying to tell you guys when I say the attraction is built in your absence, right? The feelings that will grow for you in her mind and in her heart, that'll happen when you're not there. It's when you're not there that all those DHV spikes really begin to matter. Trust me. Right? It can be as much as like you leaving the date and, you know, her trying to see you later. Or what the hell is that? Or it can be you're on a date with her, you say all those things, and then she runs into the bathroom for like 2 seconds. You only need that like 2 seconds, maybe not 2 literal seconds, but that 2 minutes of you and her not being together, and then her just thinking about it for a second and be like, oh, okay, that's actually kind of cool. You feel me? By the way, how would you make it make sense for you to pay for the date if the bill comes at the start? Show up late. That's what I keep telling you guys. Show up late so that even if the date, even if you have to pay it to start, then you're like, listen, I got it. It's fine. I came late, so this would be my way of making it up to you. Do that. What new powers did we gain? Asking so I don't abuse it. What new powers, you said. Self-belief course is my favorite thing you've put out. Thank you. So I put my entire Buddhism into it. After 6 months or so, self-belief really started to work like crazy. The fact that it even took 6 months already tells me you weren't practicing as much as you were supposed to. All right, but I'm happy it eventually kicked in. I'm happy it did. But yeah, and by the way, you've grown so much in such a short period of time too. So you see how well it works when you allow it to really, you know, shine through. You feel me? Same, I wrote about it at length in a post I made on school. Go check it out, Jace. It's called Winning. Good. I'll check it out. Hey, Jace, can you repeat your answer for the Jack of all trades question? Was getting sung happy birthday. Oh, yeah, happy birthday, Nep. My answer to that question, by the way, was the entire quote is Jack of all trades, master of none is still better than master of one. And that is to say that the people who decide to specialize only on one thing are severely limited in their human experience. What you should do is a bit of both. You should master at least one thing in your life. You really should. Specialize and master at least one thing so that you can understand and appreciate what it takes to become a master of anything. But then also become above average in many other different things, because to be human is to be multidimensional. Assuming you want to see, you know, where your potential takes you. So just keep that in mind. Philip, how does feeling late feel? That's funny. Must be really bad, bro. Damn, they coming for you, Philip. So with that girl I went on a date with, should I tell her what you said the next time I see her? Yes, you should. Have you ever been accused of R-word, and how did you handle it? Never. Fortunately for me, I've always been at least socially calibrated enough to know how to handle myself with women, so I've never even come close to any stuff like that, not even a little bit. How do I go about setting up the second date? Do I wait until she mentions it, or... Yeah, wait until she mentions it, honestly, because at this point, you have no reason to want to see her again. You really shouldn't. Let's see. And then on the day, how do I escalate touch again since she was uncomfortable with it last time? The problem is you were holding hands. By the way, that was something I was supposed to mention to you. I don't know why I forgot. But you weren't supposed to be holding anyone's hand. The reason women reject touch, especially on like a first date situation, is because the touch lingers longer than it should. You're giving them a chance to reject the touch because you're leaving it there. I keep telling you guys, stop. Don't hold her hand indefinitely. Hold it for like 10 seconds and let go and be like, ugh, your hands are sweaty. That way, when you hold her hand later, she actually wants it to stay longer. Right? The longer you give them a chance to reject it, the more likely they are to. So don't hold no hands. When you put your hand on her thigh, at some point, like literally count 10 seconds in your head and then let go of it. Literally. Don't just leave it there and then hope to go in a little up further north. No, like just one touch at a time. And then eventually start leaving it a little longer over time. That way you don't get a chance to be rejected, okay? Do you have a certain program when you hit the gym as a martial artist? It depends on whatever class I gotta go do. Jiu-jitsu, MMA, kickboxing, Muay Thai, all that kind of stuff. So I go to a gym where they teach everything. Everything plus judo, plus taekwondo, point fighting, plus boxing, all that stuff. So it's whatever class I have that day, I just go and do. I'm usually there around like 3 or 4 hours. And I usually attend more than one class. So I'll usually go for like the first class that happens on that day and then the second class right after. So I'm usually very exhausted afterwards, but that's the point. But yeah, it depends on the day I go. You can't say shit, you're only showing up earlier because I'm letting you, I may train. That's funny. Philip and Fish Army are going back and forth. That's funny. So that's what people who are late sound like. Interesting. Damn. Your specialization is on women and you're above average on everything else then. No, my specialization is on a lot of different things, not just women. Like, I would say I'm probably better at just communication and public speaking in general. The woman thing is, I mean, that skill kind of translates into that, obviously. But that skill is a different other one. Right? People think about them like two of the same thing, but it really started with public speaking. Then, persuasive speaking, to be particular, hypnosis, all that stuff. Then women. Then, my particular brand of method of spirituality, and then other stuff like that. And then I'm above average in other things, which is kind of cool. But yeah, I've had a very full life. I'm very grateful. Mystery even said his skill is social dynamics, not women. Exactly. It's never really women. Women are just a tool you use to practice the skills. I know a lot of amazing hypnotists or amazing poker players, amazing public speakers that just happen to teach dating or women and stuff like that, or just amazing teachers in general, amazing professors. And they'll all tell you the same thing. It's not the women that's the point. You don't ever really learn. You think you're starting out learning women and understanding women, and yeah, that is a bit of a study on its own. But it never stops there. There's only so much you can learn about women. The real skill, the real lifetime commitment is understanding how to use women as like a measuring stick, a litmus test really for your own personal development and improvement. Because they really are the best thing on planet Earth to test you when it comes to your own, like, your identity, your emotional strength of character, your psychological strength of will, and stuff like that, Public speaking and persuasive speaking, you got from the church, the church sermons, right? Well, not just the sermons. I grew up in the church. I really should be a pastor somewhere right now. But yeah, that was how it started for me, for sure. It was definitely all in the church. It was all, it was me being bred to be the next generation of prosperity teachers. And I kind of, I found my own path. But yeah, that's how it works, baby. That's how it works. Damn, I love that you remember things about me. That's a good boy. That's funny. I love your obsession. Damn. Asami, they lowballing you in the comments. Your specialization is, I'm guessing, social dynamics. Honestly, my real specialization when it comes to women in general is my ability to break it down to people in a way that it makes sense, in a way that it's fun and nuanced and almost like gamified. My real gift, my real skill is making the complex simple when it comes to women. That's my real gift. That's what I really specialize in. Because I'm the guy that notices stuff about, women and social dynamics in general that other people just don't or would not care to talk about. I'm the guy that talks about those things. And I'm the guy that weirdly heavily obsesses with those things because I know no one else will. All right, so that's my real skill. I don't know how to react to Philip's Diddy moves. I need help on. Hey, y'all two sort it out, bro. That's funny. Basically I said to her, let's get ice cream at 8 p.m. and she said it's basically too late to do ice cream. So I first told her 7 p.m. and she still refused, telling me it's too late. I don't want to be Mr. Rigid, but basically she wanted to do something else instead of ice cream, dinner. So in that type of situation, what's the fine line between simple compromise and following her lead? The line itself is literally just be like, okay, why don't you want ice cream? And then she's going to be like, oh, I want dinner. Then you're going to be like, why do you want dinner instead of ice cream? Because it's not like, you're making it sound like it's two options. It's not two options. You got fucking a billion options if you want. There's many different ways you can go about it. You might as well make your next move based on an actual informed, decision. So literally ask, like, what's the issue with the, like, okay, even you saying, oh, she wanted dinner. Okay, cool. That's your assumption. She didn't tell you she wanted dinner. You see my point? You actually have no evidence that she wanted dinner. You don't. You're going off of your assumption, like, oh, she just wants dinner. Are you sure? It's too late, I already want dinner. Doesn't mean she actually wants dinner. No. It means that she actually wants something else, or she wants to see you earlier, or she doesn't like ice cream. Maybe she's lactose intolerant. You don't know. The assumption there is that she wants dinner, and I want you to challenge that. Literally. So ask questions next time. All right? Let's see. I got nothing to do with these two children. That's funny. Strongest martial art. There's no strongest martial art. It doesn't exist. The strongest you can ever be is have your own particular blend of martial arts. There's no strongest one. You need each of them, or each variation of them, depending on the situation you're in and depending on where the fight is happening. I can call wrestling the best martial art, but that has its weakness. It's great for body control and keeping people down, but last I checked, you don't win a fight by keeping people down. So it's great for controlling your opponent, but you need to get close, so you can't do it from afar. And it doesn't really have a definitive way to win or end the fight. Then you have stuff like boxing. That you can do from a bit of more of a distance than boxing. The problem is it leaves you vulnerable to the ground. On top of that, also not a very good way to definitively end the fight, because you can run into a situation where you punch someone until your knuckles begin to bleed. A lot of people just forget, and people just assume I'm just gonna fight someone in the street with my fist until I knock that person out. It's like, yeah, if you have knockout power, most people don't. So if you don't have knockout power, which more than likely you don't, or God forbid the person you're fighting has a fantastic chin and they don't mind taking punishment, at some point you're gonna run out of punches, bro. Then what? Again, am I saying boxing is bad? No, it's actually very good for street fighting. It's just, be careful. There's weaknesses to all these things. Just like there's weakness to jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu is another one. It's decent enough for controlling people on the ground. It actually, unlike wrestling, has a definitive way to end the fights. Problem with that is, it's not good for any kind of striking back and forth. So, it kind of leaves people open there. There's no good or best or greatest martial art. You got to have a combination of a lot of them to protect yourself from all different angles, okay? So since tension plus time equals attraction, do you think with some girls it takes longer? Yeah, sure, but again, that'll depend on their own threshold for pain, that their own tolerance for tension, He finally cut his dreads, new beginning. Please. I'm still tucked back there. Who you talking to? He finally cut his dreads, they said. That's not happening anytime soon. Let me go ahead and break some hearts. If y'all are waiting for the day I cut my dreads, sorry. You might as well just leave right now. That's not happening anytime soon. Because I'm not keeping these dreads for you. Frankly, I'm not even keeping them for me, if you really think about it. But that's none of your business. So if you want me to show up with a fade and no dreads, you're out of your mind. And if you need me to cut my dreads for you to somehow like me or trust me, you need to keep on hating me, bro. That's not happening anytime soon. Digital pre-selection members would know Jay swore not to get rid of them. Type shit. Type shit. By the way, someone was asking me about digital pre-selection recently. The rest of the lessons are in. So go check them out. Go check them out. All the examples, all this kind of stuff, they're all there. Go check them out. Let's see. There we go. What are you doing right now is projecting your feelings on... Oh, they're still going at it in the comments. That's funny. We do got a children's playground going on in the comments. Yeah, when did you drop everything? A few days ago. What element of the game you think is the hardest to grasp because it goes against most societal norms? There's several. I don't think there's any particular one that's harder than the other. They're all hard depending on where you're starting from. Like if you grew up in a Christian conservative household, the idea that women like sex alone might blow your fucking mind. I genuinely believe, and for me and my boys here, we'd probably laugh about this, right? But I think we all underestimate how many men are still walking around the planet thinking that women don't like sex. Or how down and dirty women can get when it comes to sexual exploits. I think a lot of men are it'll break their brains if they found out. It really would. And that's the small things, like the women liking sex more than men. That's another level to it, but it's also true. And then there's also the idea of cheating, like just having a different idea or look or perspective on cheating. I think that's one that people struggle with. Even people that like me and understand my message, they struggle with that one too, like cheating. When I say stuff like cheating is not a flaw in character, cheating is not that something is fundamentally wrong with someone. Cheating is just a biological fucking response, bro. It's a biological response that people have essentially been designed with to impulsively do when they find themselves in a less than ideal scenario, in a scenario where they believe they don't have the best chances of survival or replication. That's what cheating is. It's how cheating works. And men and women cheat for very different reasons and go about cheating in very different ways. And yeah, it's just am I saying it's a good thing? No, I'm just saying it's something animals do when animals are put in a certain type of situation. Right? So trying to villainize people for cheating is just it's a complete waste of time. It's like villainizing a dog for barking. Dogs have reasons they bark. They don't just bark for no reason. Right? So, just something to keep in mind. If a girl cheated on me, I'd thank her for the reality check, to be honest. For real! You see how you just said that, Ryu? And that's why you're one of the mods. That's why you're one of my students. That's why you're one of the boys. Because you get it. You understand it. If I get to the point where any of my girls thought it was a good idea to cheat on me, I understand enough about cheating to know why. Does that make sense? And that's the mindset you have when you understand game. Like, even me and my girl were talking about this the other day. Imagine, right, I added 300 pounds. Like, I just became a fat slob. Right? And I asked my girl, this is how I asked my girl the question. I said, how long would it take you before you left me? Right? Because I know my girl. And I know my girl. I know game. I understand women. I understand how this works. So when I go, how long would it take you before you leave me? I'm asking it that way as opposed to the way the rest of you goofy ass motherfuckers out there would ask, which is like, would you leave me? Spoiler alert, yes, she fucking will. Absolutely, she would. And I asked my girl that question, and she answered back in a playful way, like, no, baby, I'd never leave you. And of course, it was playful because she knows me. She knows I'm a smarter man than that. I'm like, come on, stop playing around. How long would it really take? And then this is the answer she gave. Listen to how she said it. Not just because of what she said, but the mindset she would need to have as an attractive woman to say something like that. She said, I would be gone before you even hit 250 pounds. I said, why is that? She said, because you adding that much weight, one, wouldn't happen overnight. It would be a gradual process. Two, I would know what would happen to you. Like, I know what would have had to happen to you mentally for you to devolve to that level. And I refuse to stick around and see that. You see how me and my bitch talk? You see that? I would tell you to go get you a bitch that talks that honestly and is that self-aware, but you're not going to find her. I built that one. Sorry. But for the most part, that's reality. That's how it works. That's what it means to understand game and understand women, is understanding the basic level stuff. Like, one, love is not unconditional. It's very conditional, which is why she would leave me if I added that much weight. And two, there's an inextricable link in a woman's mind between my weight, aka my caloric surplus in this case, and the level of discipline and survivability that I have in her eyes. So why would she trust that I can keep her safe if I can't even stop myself from having that extra Twinkie? It makes sense. Do you get it? When you understand game, you know the girl that cheats on her boyfriend, low-key, is doing the right thing. He deserves to get cheated on. Do you get me? Is that painful to hear? I'm sure it is. But fuck you. That's the truth. Damn, that's how we know your girl is bad too. Exactly. That's how you know I got a bad bitch. That's how you know she's a bad bitch. Because the ugly ones will be like, I'll stay with you forever. I'll sleep with you under the bridge. Same girl I'm talking about, I asked her, if we found ourselves under a bridge, what would you do? Like, how long would it take before you left me? She said, I'll give you 2 weeks. You don't figure it out, I'm gone. I said, bet. And she said, you know how much I have to love you to even stay under that bridge with you for 14 days? Fuck you, Jason. I'm gone. I said, bet. Makes sense. Because what would have had to happen for me to get under that bridge? How much off my game would I have had to be for us to find ourselves in that kind of situation? But the regular bitches y'all date, they'll be like, oh, you're staying under the bridge forever. Gross. I don't want a girl that says I'll stay with you under the bridge forever. I want my bitches. I want that bitch. The one I was just talking about, I want the one that goes, no, I'm leaving you in 2 weeks. And you're lucky to get that 2 weeks out of me. Yes. Yes. That's a bad bitch right there. Hell yeah. And that's a bad bitch that knows she's with a man that understands women. Not someone that needs to be lied to and deluded. I hope that's going into someone's brain out there. I hope it is. I really do. I don't rant like that usually, but you know, it's important. We need like, as men especially, we need to stop fucking bullshitting ourselves. Like, it's getting too late. It's 2024 at this point. And there's way too many niggas walking around that are just walking, come cheat on me flags. I see it everywhere and it fucking disgusts me. Just grown men walking around and it's like, why do you allow women to lie to you because of how often you choose to lie to yourself? It's fucking gross. Anyway, should I approach women despite not being where I want in life? Great question. Yes, you should. Also, if you have to wait for where you want to be in life to approach women, then you're pedestalizing women. Women are not important enough for you to have to, like, get your shit together before you get one. Like, come on. It's women. It's girls, dude. They are not a fucking hero's conquest. Chill out. It's just girls. So don't pedestalize them in your head like that. Don't make them this far off future checkpoint that you'll someday reach when your shit is finally together. 2, and this is honestly, in my opinion, is more important. You want to get your shit together? You really do? Get a bitch. Get a bitch. You see what I was just talking about with my girl? Yeah. Imagine you had a girl like that in your life. How hard are you working? Because I'll tell you right now, I work my ass off. I don't like to brag. I really don't like to brag because I genuinely believe this. Like, I believe this shit in my heart. If I tell people how well I'm doing, there's people out there that would like legitimately kill themselves. Especially some of your favorite TikTokers. Like, there's people with millions of followers on this app that let me not go into all of that. Man, the point is, you want motivation, get you a girl that you know has standards and that holds you to a certain standard. Success overnight, I promise you. Start before you're ready. Yes, Robert Greene. Shout out to Robert Greene. But yeah, trust me, you'll never be ready anyway. You just got to jump in the water. You feel me? What element of the game I already read that one. Can you give daily activities for us to complete in the school group? Absolutely. 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 Bro rants, stop gatekeeping. I'm not gatekeeping. I'm protecting people. I really do think about it like that. Like, I'm protecting people. Don't let TikTok ban you. Chill out with the language, sensei. TikTok is sensitive. Don't let TikTok ban you for being successful. Type shit. Like, the work continues. I still have work to do. So yeah. Let's see. Yeah, gotta admit, during MMA comp, I did very little practice. For actually getting good at that type shit. But since 3 to 4 months, I'm really into it. That's good. Is KM's strongest martial art? Karate? KM? Which one's KM? Oh, Krav Maga. Isn't that like Israeli? It's like Israeli military design stuff. I've seen it. It looks dangerous, I guess, but I honestly don't trust any martial art that doesn't require a lot of movement. If it doesn't require a lot of movement, I get suspicious very quickly. All right. Damn, I called Krav Maga is Russian, right? I think it was originated in Israel, but the Russians like fucking took over for whatever reason. It became their thing. Mr. Protector, you should be afraid to tell. You should be afraid to tell us what's the worst that could happen. I'll be the provider today. I'll be the provider type today. Put my thumb in my mouth and suck it. Then I called one of my girls and her sister picked up and tried to pressure me, asking why I called. I called for your sister. What kind of question is that? I called for your sister. Get your sister on the phone. Especially if it's the little sister. Never entertain little sister talk. What? You're the little sister. Shut up. You feel me? Yeah, it's Israeli. Yeah, it's Israeli. Sup, Jace? I started the Alabaster Girl, and Zan said most beautiful women are lonely. I'd like your thoughts. She's very correct about that. I don't think people understand how lonely beautiful women are, and it kind of bothers me. YouTube wouldn't make you into a provider type. Just saying. True. I do have to play nicer on TikTok for sure. All right, we'll go to YouTube for sure. We actually got to start going to YouTube a lot more often. I said because I can in it. Beautiful women are very lonely. You got to understand what a beautiful woman's life is like. Men are scared to approach them or talk to them because every man's assumption is that they already have someone. Women hate them. A lot of people don't talk about this. But beautiful women are collectively hated by the majority of women because the majority of women are not beautiful. Right? So they have a very hard time making friends with women that especially are not as good looking as them. Because every other woman feels intimidated by them. I went somewhere with my girl yesterday and I'm not going to speak too much on the details of it, but fuck it. She went to go get a new tattoo. And Walked in there. You know, I'm about to have her sit her down with her and do her session and get her new tattoo or whatever. And her tattoo artist got really fucking intimidated by me. To the point where when I try to point something out, like, hey, can you redo this little thing again? He like took that as a personal insult, like, oh, why don't you draw it then? Like you know. And my girl was like, I don't like the way he was talking to you like that. I don't like the fact that he said that, even though it was just your genuine concern. And I'm like, no, it makes sense. I scare men. It is what it is. And then I told her, you know how all those other girls look at you funny when we walk in this certain place? Like we have these places we go to frequently. And we have this one place we go to all the time. All the girls, when they see me, they light up. But then they see her behind me and they just, you know, their face just comes in like that. And I'm like, you see how that happens with you and those girls? That's me and most men. That's what a beautiful woman is like. It's every other woman being intimidated by them and then playing nice with them, like trying to pretend to be their friends. So beautiful women are very lonely. It's not uncommon to see most of the beautiful women you'll ever see heavily medicated. And there's a reason for that, right? It's all to combat the loneliness, the anxiety. They have a lot of it, usually. So yeah. I call myself Captain Save-A-Ho because my specialty is saving beautiful women. Let's see. Damn, an MMA gym that teaches judo and taekwondo is very unique. I know, right? I fucking lucked out. And it's 7 minutes away. It's great. I literally have my shit here, guys. Like, this is my bag. This is my boxing gloves and everything. My gi is over there. Like, it's fucking dope. It's fucking awesome. Here's my sparring helmet, all that good stuff. It's great. Like, I pick up, put things I need for whatever classes I need that day. I get my mouth guard, toss it in there. I'm out the door. Get down to the garage, drive my car 7 minutes away. It's great. It's fucking convenient. Let's see. Public speaking. I already read that one. What do you think of USA basketball winning the gold medal now? Oh, did they win already? Good for them. Shit. I mean, I feel like they should have blown every country out on the way there. The way they talk about USA basketball like it's the best. I just felt like they shouldn't have struggled with any country. But hey, at least they've proven that they're the best yet again. Shout out to USA basketball. It's hard to not be the best when you got all the best players, right? Okay, shout out to them. I didn't read that one. What? I didn't read that one. Jace, don't worry, this is just the first lovers quarrel we've had. It's funny. I think Philip and Asami are members of the other team. They're just a bit confused and ended up here. That's funny. Ryu, you shouldn't have joined them. That's crazy. They're going in on Ryu too now, aren't they? Hey, Jace, I'm trying to understand tension with women. What ways can I use it in conversation, especially over text? You tease them. The best way to create tension is teasing. Whenever you say things to women that makes them feel more than one emotion at a time, which is what a good tease does, you're creating tension, right? Anything you say that is first a compliment and then a pullback away from the compliment. Tension, teasing, tension. The entire point of tension, by the way, is to use it as a way to hold the conversation hostage so that you can only relieve her of the tension she feels around you when she complies with you. So think of tension almost like a pew-pew, right? That's what we call it on TikTok here. A pew-pew, you're holding it to her like this. Do you want to stop feeling this tension? Do you? Okay then, comply. And then when she complies and you go, right? You relieve the tension. That's the entire point of how to use tension. I just put it in like the best analogy ever. Any advice on holding the tension and not releasing too quickly during the conversation? Simple. Just wait till she complies. That's it. Wait till she complies. That's when you release it. Let's see. The comments on your Simone Biles video are crazy. They're all summoning Drawfalo. I saw that was so funny. If you want to get even more entertainment, go and look at the fucking profiles of those people. Fucking horrendous. You see why I talk so confidently the way I do? It'll take a while to get used to. for most men, I think. Like, most men don't really understand or live in this reality where you just understand that beautiful women are here, all the other ones are here. And as long as you keep speaking these ones' languages, the language of beautiful women, these ones are going to giving you like hate, adversity, resistance, blah, blah. But in them giving you hate and adversity, that's the sign that you're doing something right with these ones. All right? It's really that clear cut. It's fun. It's very fun. And if she doesn't indicate disinterest and create more tension, the indicating of the disinterest creates more tension naturally. So you don't, it's not even something you got to be redundant about. You feel me? Let's see. Please, Jace, tell Philip to leave me alone. I don't like this stuff he's pulling. Please. No, Philip, continue. I wonder, since I got long hair as well, how do you grapple? How long hair is so annoying with MMA. It's more annoying with jiu-jitsu for sure, but I do wrap it up just like this, to be honest. Like, I literally just wrap it up like this. It's only ever a problem when I'm in like weird positions in jiu-jitsu, especially when I'm on bottom. On bottom, it's even more annoying because then I can't really put my head to the mat all the way because, I mean, I guess it's kind of cool because this is a natural cushion, but yeah, it's annoying. It is annoying. But we move. Let's see. Yeah, for some of my friends think body count of 3 is high. That's funny. Young boys that haven't grown up yet to the reality. What did Madara Uchiha say? Wake up to reality. Nothing ever goes right in this accursed world. That's what motherfuckers need to move with when they're dating. I always feel like my hair getting ripped and my balding gene helping it. That's fucking hilarious. Nah, your hair won't get ripped. You're fine. But do you really think women want it more? I'll show. Sex, you mean? Absolutely. What? You've never heard of a man screaming so loud from an orgasm the cops get called? Women love and enjoy sex way more than men. And anyone that has a woman in their life that is very attracted to them knows what I'm talking about. Not often I have to say no to sex. Like, yeah, they definitely like sex more. Like, it's not even close. It's not even close. I gotta literally like protect my energy. Like, babe, I gotta do things in the house today. I gotta do this work, call this person, do this thing, make this video, edit this thing. I got shit to do. And it's just like, no, come on. Like, off me, damn. Also, I had countless instances where they don't comply because of too much tension. How to handle that? A little bit more reassurance, just a little bit. Take away from the tension, just a little bit. Let's see. I can still see his comment. Why? Oh, Philip, that's funny. If a girl cheated on me, I'd thank her for the reality check. Exactly. Oh, yeah, I can see that, but where do some of them get the discipline from? Me, honestly. If you ever run into a girl that's disciplined around sex that you didn't train yourself, that just means she hasn't had good sex. That's how you know. It's funny you mentioned like comments, right? There's another video I made recently where there's someone in the comments, you know, a bunch of girls. I'm always pissing off these unattractive women anyway, so they're always in my comments. But there's one I saw where someone pegged her right. I can't remember who it was. I think it was one of you actually. And it was a girl that was like, oh, I remember the video now. It was a video where I was talking about how Janelle Bromfield and Noah Lyles are dating, American and Jamaican sprinter. And I was like, why is everyone surprised that she's supporting her American boyfriend to even beat a Jamaican sprinter? Like, of course, obviously, women will always choose love over country. And there's a woman in the comments like, I'll always choose my country over a man or whatever. And I'm like, ugh. I don't know if she knows it, but she just told everybody she's never really truly been in love. Because even I as a man knows, like I as a man, I am a man. I can choose who I love and who I don't, right? But even I know I would never choose country over a woman in my life that is good to me. Like, why? My country will never be that good to me. Especially my country. You know what I mean? So when I see someone that's like, I'll always choose my country. Like, you throw your life away for a government that doesn't even care about you, really? Over the love of a man that you feel safe with? You just told the world you've never had good dick before. Poor girl. Every time a girl replaces you with another one, you learn a lot about yourself on God. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. I thought game transcended fatness. Absolutely. But you're going to have to do a lot of work to convince a girl that you are a certain level of disciplined, even though you're fat. This is why I always tell fat guys, you can gain girls if you're fat very easily. But don't expect two things. One, a long term where the girl keeps thinking of you as high status. Because you're going to have to do so much work to overcompensate to make her feel like, you're that guy. And you're on top of your shit despite the fact that you clearly have an issue with your caloric surplus. And two, long-term respect. Because why would she respect someone that can't even keep himself safe? Keep that in mind. Woman in question got to be a 4. If you want to be nice, sure. If you want to be nice. Let's see. Bro, how are you so smart? Practice. Intelligence is a skill. I keep telling people it's not a gift. It's not a talent. It's a skill. All right. You can work on your smarts. You can work on your intelligence. And I'm not just talking about knowing more shit. Right. Just being knowledgeable is not being smart. It's a good step in the right direction, but it's not the only step. The other steps are learning how to actually extract, absorb, and interpret information in a way that you can use it practically. That's where intelligence really lies. That's where your IQ points really begin to go up, is being able to perceive information correctly, to process said information, and then to use that information. Right? WChat indeed. By the way, since we got the formula for attraction, what is it for love? I keep telling you guys, love is just like, it's like ticking all the boxes on the checklist. Right. What people call love is really just an ideal situation for, survival and replication. If you found a girl that was the way you want her to look and the right amount of compatibility, or maybe not even compatible necessarily, like in terms of you have all these things in common, but a girl that is hot and is willing to do whatever to make any adjustment to make you happy and to fit like a glove into your life, you would be in love with her immediately. You almost wouldn't have a choice in the matter. It would not be a choice for you. You would immediately be in love with her because she essentially checks the 2 major boxes for men. Be hot, be agreeable. That is it. You'll be in love. The same thing occurs for women, but women just have like a slightly longer list, but it's essentially the same kind of thing. It's like be attractive to her behaviorally, be psychologically more dominant, have a strong sense of identity, be a leader, be emotionally and socially calibrated. Boom, love. They don't really have a choice at that point. They don't. Thoughts on Cassie Xander content? I haven't seen his content in a while, but he's dope. He's solid. Drop sex, hypnosis, Genghis Khan game. We need Genghis Khan game. Patience, my children. Patience. I'm saying. Why are you running? What's going on, Cass? Where you been? Do you think women care about what you wear or what you say when you approach them? Let me put it like this. They all are clues and hints into who you are. All right? So the way you present yourself to a woman tells her what things you prioritize, how you value yourself, and how you present yourself to the world. What you wear is cool. How you wear them is more important. All right? What you say or the thing you say in your approach is cool. How you say it is more important. You want to know what's even more important than all those things? Who you are. And that's the idea. Everything you're saying and doing in the way and manner you're doing them and saying them, they're all hints at who you actually are. So you want to give women the correct hints, essentially, right? Keep that in mind. Yeah, I'm gonna chill out with the language. What's your night game checklist? You mean like before I go out to a night, on a night or anything? Is that what you mean? Or is that like when you say checklist? Well, first thing I need is myself. I need my ass. I need it to be there. Good clothes, cologne, and if I'm feeling like it, a fresh trim. That's about it. Checklist. I'll be specific, dog. I don't know what you mean by checklist. Damn, I called one of my girls. Oh, yeah, I read that one. Here, my God, what's the best way to let girls know you want to keep them around, although you have other girls? You say that, but to them, not to me. Just say it to them. Like, don't tell them you want to keep them around. That's not the way you should word it. You should say it like, I'm the kind of guy that that's dating other women. It should be assumed from the way you behave and the way you act and the way you talk that there are other women in your life. You know, that's the general way you should be carrying yourself. Let's see. Bro, I noticed on my date the girl is genuinely scared. Beautiful women aren't used to being gamed correctly. It's like a are you real, too good to be true situation. That's part of the reason for all the resistance she gave me. Yes, that's very, very true. Like, I'm happy you noticed that too, by the way. I like that. I'm very happy you said that, by the way, Ryu, because that tells me you're actually like really going out there and practicing a lot. Beautiful women very rarely run into a well-balanced, socially calibrated guy. Like, my girl literally says I was written, well, how does she say? I forget the thing she calls it. Wattpad. I think that's the word, Wattpad. I don't know what this is particularly, but apparently this is something women like an online thing where women read stories, like these romance novels and stuff. I'm guessing it's like book talk related. I don't really know. But she says I'm a man written on Wattpad or something. I don't necessarily know what that is. But the general sentiment of that is, in her mind, the way I am, the way I exist, I feel to her like one of those men that are like the male lead of a romantic novel. Right? And if you've ever read any of these romantic novels, you realize, yeah, this is very easy. It's not even like hard to emulate those characters if you really need to. Not that I was going to or anything, but it's not hard to show the ability to be serious and playful at the same time. It really isn't. It really isn't hard to show. Those are romance books about dark bedroom Olympics. Haha, oh, that's funny. Yeah, okay, that makes even more sense, honestly. But yeah, that's what she says, because I feel like that to her. And again, not hard to do. Really not that hard. And a part of that is because beautiful women aren't used to meeting men that have that level of aggressiveness and playfulness at the same time. Does that make sense? Did you see the girls putting drawful under your vid? Yes, I did. It was funny. They gotta call their savior. It's not their fault. They have no strength of their own. They have to borrow strength from others. Pathetic. Beautiful women aren't used to being gamed correctly. Yes, they aren't. It's like, oh yeah, I read that one. That's part of the reason for all the... I read that one too. The crazy thing is when the sister answered the phone, I said, oi ho. That's funny. I hope Drew reacts to you. That would make your content channel big and keep the unkept girls away. Type shit. She won't though. She won't. She really won't. Drew doesn't go after marginalized groups, I've noticed. Any advice on holding the tension and not releasing too quickly during the conversation? Didn't I already give you advice on that already? Just wait till she gives you compliance. Let's see. Also, I had countless instances where they don't comply because it's too... I already read that one too. Oh yeah, okay, I think I'm catching up. That's good. Oh yeah, I can see that, but where do some of... Oh yeah, I read that one too. There we go. My dumb Trump does damage, but you stop living once you stop learning. Exactly. The girl from the date made me a playlist. Do I reward by making one for her or just compliments? Oh, compliments is fine. Compliments is more than enough. How to get your boss to invest more in you. In the process, like getting a free mentor, kind of. Okay. It would depend on what kind of industry you're in and what like knowledge and skills you're learning. But I say the best way to get any mentor is to really show interest in what they're doing. The irony is every master out there is looking for a student to teach. We all are. But most people underestimate how many people are actually willing to go through the process of learning. So if you just show up with curiosity and just ask a bunch of questions, you'll be surprised how willing he is to answer every single one. Right, assuming he gives a fuck about, the craft in question. Let's say your girl dropped from a 10 to a 6 because of something outside of her control. What would you do? That's impossible. It's funny because my girl asked me. Remember that question I told you I asked my girl? She asked me the same one too. What happened if I got the 300 pounds? I'd be gone by the time she hit 170. I'm out. Fuck you talking about? Nah, but the outside of your control thing is like very rare. Like we're talking about the bizarre situations, like she got into some kind of weird accident, she got some kind of weird uncontrollable disease. That's a minus 0.0000003%, right? Don't worry about that. There's a good chance that that's not going to happen to you. If your girl is going to go from a 10 to a 6, it's going to be most likely because of a lack of effort and discipline on her part. All right? Never be forgiving about that shit. If your bitch drops below a fucking 8, you throw her the fuck away. Get rid of her. Leave. There's very few instances where I've heard like a girl goes from a 10 to a 6 and I'm like, okay, you feel sorry for her, sure, why not? But most situations, nope. Let's see. I'm fit and clean. Yeah, assuming she got a disease or something. Hey, help her through it, man. That's your girl. She loves you. You love her. You value her. Sure, why not? Just thug it out with her. Whatever. But again, chances of that happening to you very low. I promise. Let's see. I'm fit and clean. Once insecurity is a gap that's not crooked, just noticeable. Do I approach insta baddies? Then they're gonna see the gap when you finally meet them in person anyway. What you hiding the gap for? Just because it's an insecurity doesn't mean it's bad. That's the beautiful thing about insecurities. Just because you think they're bad doesn't mean they actually are bad. Keep that in mind. By the way, me and Ryu started to understand why you holding back with con games. So yeah, type shit. Don't give it to us right now. I'm telling you, I don't want to hurt you guys. I love you guys. If I didn't love you, I would just be the devil and give it to you when you're not ready. That's what the devil does, right? He gives you things you're not ready for. So he can watch it destroy you. You wouldn't put the keys to an Aston Martin in a 4-year-old's hands, would you? Yeah. Didn't think so. Yeah, we haven't even mastered the fundamentals. Forget the advanced shit for time being. Exactly. Please. And by the way, the fact that you've noticed that, I can actually start calling you guys intermediate now. That's fucking dope. Because you don't usually come to that realization until you're around intermediate. Either there already or you're about to scratch it. So well done. You guys have definitely been promoted. Well done. All done. Let's master mystery method first. Good. When a girl asks you a bunch of stuff about yourself, do you tell her because she's curious or not completely to stay mysterious? Maybe even not at all. It depends on the kind of information. The more sensitive the information, the more likely I am to hold back. Right? The more I would either answer around it or give vague answers or just not answer at all. And tell her, listen, I like you a lot. I like spending time with you, but for right now, I don't think that's something I'm willing to discuss. Not right now. Not right now. The more you get to know me, sure. The more comfortable I feel around you, sure. But for right now, no. Yeah. We actually got promoted type shit. Because it takes someone that's actually practicing to understand the power that they're using and how easy it is to abuse it. You feel me? Let's see. Got to master the mystery method and the interview life formula before. Yes, please do. Let's see. I've been talking to this girl from work, but we were supposed to go out Friday, but I canceled on her. I tried to reschedule for Monday and Tuesday, but left me on red. Did you cancel on her and then immediately reschedule, or did you cancel, wait a few days, and then try to reschedule later? What happened there? By the way, you always say lead with sex appeal, but what does that mean practically? How would you be that way without necessarily starting seduction too soon? When I say lead with sex appeal, I'm talking about all the things you have to do in general that creates tension. You can think of sex appeal as creating tension with your presence, with the way you are around her, with your behavioral cues. That's what I mean when I say sex appeal, right? So even like the tiny things you do, like the way you tease her, that alone, in a weird way of thinking about it, on a sub-communication level, hints at how good you will be talking to her in bed. Does that make sense? Talk to her as if you're pillow talking. That's the point. You feel me? Let's see. Bro, how to be her main priority? First, you must be your main priority. First of all, that's the first step. Let's start with that. Why would she treat you like the main priority if you don't treat yourself like it? Second of all, you must learn to distribute your time and validation correctly. If you give her too much of your time and validation up front, she's not going to value it at all. How do I make her confidence dependent on me? That is the exact same question he just asked, but in a different way. When he said, how do I become her main priority? The exact same thing. My network cut out when you read my question. That's funny. What was your question? Yes, immediately. I haven't been here in a while. Gotta go. I'm at work. Type shit. See you later. Thanks for the promotion, Pookie. We love you. Love you too, brother. I really enjoy watching you guys grow. Okay, I have caught up to questions. I will answer a few more, and then I gotta bounce. I gotta get out of here. I gotta go. And please, for those of you that are in the interview, go into your account, scroll all the way to the bottom. You should see that digital pre-selection has been added as a bonus. You should see 20 plus lessons in there. Go crazy. All right? And they're very long, very comprehensive videos, so you have a lot of homework in front of you. All right? Do with all that information what you must. So crazy shit in there, man. Be careful. Be very careful. Let's see. Do you then use tonality to mimic bedroom Olympics? You can. I rescheduled this in the same text. Okay, then you did everything you needed to do. If for whatever reason she's taking the rejection personal, that's none of your business. Keep talking to other girls. When she's calmed down and she wants to come around, she'll come around. Let's see. With teasing or creating tension. What are we talking about? Oh yeah. What is the book if you are in a relationship? What is the best book if you're in a relationship? The first thing I always like to teach people is the mindset. The game doesn't change when you get into a relationship that much. A lot of the things you do when you're in a relationship are the same things you do out of it when you were first getting her. In fact, I would say the stuff that you did to get her, all the front end stuff, is far more important than the stuff you have to do in the relationship. Because that's what sets the tone for the relationship. Does that make sense? So, in reality, you should think about the relationship like creating more tension in terms of like excitement, make sure things don't get boring, and then giving her spurts of reassurance. If you want to read books on that, I would say The Mystery Method. Honestly, the best books on relationships? The Rational Male, Preventative Medicine, Sperm Wars, Robin Baker. Again, these aren't relationship-centered books, but you'd have a better idea of how relationships work and why they happen, why they fail, if you read those books, than if you actually read a relationship book. Just saying. It's better to understand things from like a better, broader point of view. Should I approach every Insta baddie with a noticeable gap? Everything else is just... idea. The answer I gave to that question, by the way, is your gap is only an insecurity to you. Just because you think it's an insecurity doesn't mean it's a bad thing. All right, so go and approach girls, guys. Like, you'll be fine. Your gap is only bad in your own head, to nobody else. Congruence tests or loss of interest. Those are two very different things, right? Two very, very different things. So they should look very different too. Thanks for dropping it, bro. You can trust me to use everything and not just watch it. I do. A girl answering very interested. She's super hot, but just once every few days. Should I reward her or punish her taking so long by texting, damn, I almost forgot about you? No. Reward it. If that's the pace, if that's the rhythm every 2 days, go for it. Keep doing that. Eventually you'll get to the point where the texting is so juicy that you can just call her out of the blue and you can start talking to her on the phone and you become more important. Like, especially when you're dealing with a hot girl in the initial stages, the fight there is just to become the most emotionally relevant thing in her life. So you're going to go through a bit of like, not being that at first. It is what it is. Besides, if you go, damn, I almost forgot about you, that tells her that you care about her response and how long she's taking. You should never care. How do I encourage Miss Sweetheart to be more of a siren? You call her boring. One of the best ways to do it, honestly. No girl wants to hear that she's boring. None. If you call her boring, watch her bring out the lingerie. How to tune into the state of mind of social calibration or gentleness or reading the room. I wouldn't call it a state of mind as much as I would call it a skill. So I would say practice a skill. It's not something you can just click into as a state of mind. It's something you have to like work on, like practice consciously over and over again. She's gorgeous but not used to being rewarded for that side of her. Well, then do that. Do those books teach about keeping her interested, turned on? Yes. Not as straightforward as you may like, but yes, they do. Especially Sperm Wars. Like, if you can read between the lines, Sperm Wars literally teaches you what it takes to keep a woman excited from a biological point of view. Because it takes away all the, you can read bullshit relationship books that tell you, take her on a date every once a week. And it's like, you read something like Sperm Wars, you realize what women call exciting changes depending on the context you're in with her. Because taking her out on a date once a week is fun and exciting if you're the new sexy boyfriend or just guy she's dating that she's hopping from country to country with, right? Like you're taking a backpack trip through Europe and you're going on a different date every week. That's exciting. You're her boyfriend of 7 years and she's watched you add fucking 30 pounds of fat over the time and your headline is receded fucking 4 inches. Taking her on a date every week to your local cheesecake factory, that's boring, right? So Sperm Wars attacks context, and that's why it's a more important relationship book than any other relationship book out there. How do you reward texting? Compliments. Compliments are your best, quickest way to reward women for all kinds of behavior. Reward the things she texts. Haha, exactly. I always call her boring, and she likes, and she's like, that's true every time, just agreeing. Oh, okay. If she's agreeing, then begin to show her the inextricable link between her boredom, or how bored you feel around her, and how bad things can go. Don't just call her boring. Treat her boring. The next time she wants to hang out with you, be like, nah, I'd be bored. You bore me. Click. That'll send a message. Send a fucking message. How often should I text her while dating her, and how often should the dates be? This is a girl you haven't gotten naked with, right? Text her as convenient for you as possible. I would say keep busy and text as convenient as possible. Anywhere from 1 to 3 times a day on average. I had to adjust this recently. 1 to 7 times. If you're a much younger kid with not a lot to do, 1 to 7 times should be good. Or a few hours between each is also very good. And then the dates themselves, once every other week is fine. Let's see. Question: what do you do when a girl is attached to her ex? Like a girl that's still like clearly imprinted by another guy. Is that what you mean? Well, you have to learn how to make bigger, more significant impact than he left. Which means you got to make her feel a greater shift in positive and negative emotion than he did before he left. That's going to come down to like the particular situation you have with her and how creative you are and how many things you have at your disposal and how much access you have to her. But for the most part, you can make her feel both bad and good within the same hour. You're doing something right. By the way, how do you keep being interesting after a long time? You keep being unpredictable. The thing that makes you still interesting after a long period of time is your unpredictability. It's the fact that she doesn't know what the fuck you're gonna do next. That's pretty much it. Uncertainty equals unpredictability. Uncertainty equals excitement. Do you punish the sweetheart and how? That's what you do when you call her boring. That's the punishment. I see. Asking because my girl just told me she didn't think about me the whole day and she doesn't like it. Huh? What are you talking about? She says she didn't think about you the whole day and she doesn't like it. Well, she must like it if she did it, right? But it just means you're probably like boring her. You're probably around her too much. You've probably entered a routine or a schedule. What about you just don't text her for a whole day and see what happens? Have you tried that? I'm telling you, a lot of your relationships are boring because you just keep doing the same mundane, monotonous routine. Break it. You won't die. She won't die. Just break it. You don't have to text her good morning every day. You don't have to do that one thing you have to do with her and for her every month. It doesn't need to be done. That's not necessary. Leave the house for a while. Make her think you're outside doing God knows what. Nothing creates like a spark in a relationship quite like competition anxiety. When she knows that there's a possibility of another woman, she gets her shit together. Every time. It doesn't feel good for them, right? Women don't like the feeling of competition anxiety, but it's necessary. It's very fucking necessary. Let's see. Oh, and I noticed after dates, there's something, who texts the other person first energy. Doesn't really matter who does. It's better if she texts you first, obviously. I usually give it like a good week or two than they text. But, it's better if they text, to be honest. Because, especially if you had sex on the date and then you leave, you can just wait however long you want to and they'll definitely text at some point. They will text. Women don't like being fucked and then left. They don't like it. They really hate that shit. That's like the kind of shit they cry themselves to sleep at night for. So they're going to try to contact you again because they don't want to feel the rejection of, that sexual rejection of never hearing from the guy that fucked them. So yeah, keep that in mind. Okay, yes. Yeah, you should always be conscious of being the less needy party. Yes. Do you actively think of ways to be unpredictable, or you got a routine or something? Honestly, I'm just a fucking exciting guy. The way my life is set up, it's filled with unpredictability. So I don't really have to try. I'm an unpredictable fucker. And I speak my mind, right? Being honest is another great way to be unpredictable. A lot of you would create a lot of tension in your relationships and excitement if you just began to tell your girl the truth. Seriously. That shit you have, fucking ugly. Get rid of it. And see how that becomes a thing. Right? A lot of you just need to become more honest. Honesty naturally creates tension and unpredictability. And especially the unpredictability that comes with not knowing what you're going to say next because you're liable to say whatever next. They love that shit. So keep that in mind. If I call her boring after she doesn't comply with a siren-like request, does that make me reactive or is it just indicating disinterest? It's just indicating disinterest. You're fine. Don't worry about being reactive. I tried not texting for 2 days and she went crazy. Well, there you go. Now try for 4 days. See how crazy she gets then. See? It's easy. It's very easy. A lot of people's relationships are dying for no reason. Just ignore your bitch for like 8 hours. A lot of you are so down bad, all you need is to ignore her for 4 hours, and that becomes a thing. Like, it's great. Honestly, try it. And then she's going to try to talk you back into going back into being a good boy and replying her every fucking text every hour. And then you're going to be like, nah, I'm tired of that. I don't really like that. I don't care. It's not giving me a chance to miss you. I feel like I'm hating you more and building more resentment for you because of how much time you require out of me. I need my space. Leave me alone. Say it, like, literally. A lot of you need to tell your girlfriends that. Your wives that. I'm looking at you now, married men. Married men. A lot of you need to tell your wives, I'm bored with you. You need to leave me alone for like 2 seconds. Like, beat it. Chill. Go do something. Here's some money. Take the kids. Go somewhere. Go to your daughter's house, your mother's house, your dad's house, your friend's house, whatever. Just leave. I need you to be gone. Oh, you want me to leave? Cool, I'll leave. I'll pack a bag for me. I'm going to like a motel or something. I'm going to play pool in the hotel lobby or some shit. Like, just get out. Leave for like 2 seconds. Like, create that space. Space is where attraction is built, baby. Remember that. Emotional investment type shit. I'll break the routine, bro. So how could I get better at teasing, being unpredictable and stuff? Become more interesting. Go and create more avenues in your life to do more stuff. The more stuff you're doing, the less time you're spending with her, which is perfect. All right, does that also include dates where you didn't have sex? The dates where you had sex are more powerful, obviously. But yeah, treat it like the dates where you didn't. The dates where you didn't have sex. Actually, no. The dates you didn't have sex, and it depends on how those ones ended. You might have to put in a little more work, but other than that, always treat it like she has to meet you first, or she has to contact you first anyway. I notice that more often than not, women give you a cry for help for you to get it together before they leave or do something crazy. Yes, they do. That is very true. They really do. That's why I love women. Women do give chances. It's just that men are stupid. All right? That's the problem. I agree with women when they say that. There's a frustration women have that men are just dumb and clueless. And honestly, they're right. I can't even lie. They're fucking right. I hear some of these stories sometimes and I'm like, really? Really, dude? It took you a whole year to finally, like, now you're running helter-skelter. Oh, my wife wants to leave me. No, I have to do something. Like, bro, she's been giving you clues. She's done nothing but string clues along for 3 years. You're just now finding out what the fuck is wrong with you. You know, so, yeah, women are very, they're gracious like that. They really can be. After the 2 days of not texting, she's threatening to end things. How do I respond? You go, relax. Really? 2 days? What happens if I died or something? Are you going to end things with me in the grave? Like, chill out. You're being dramatic right now. Sometimes we won't talk, and it'll be a good chance for us to miss each other. That's not a bad thing. Don't you want me to miss you when I see you? I know you want. I know I want you to miss me. So don't take it too personal. It's okay. Relax. We have to find ways to miss each other. Always dismiss it. This is why I keep telling you, their feelings are not always valid. Their feelings can destroy your own relationship with them. If you just go off her feelings, because she doesn't want to feel bad. No woman wants to feel bad. Right? Nobody in general wants to feel bad. But it's necessary. Like, do you get that? Like, inflicting that pain into the relationship is very necessary to keep it alive. You have to shock her into anxiety sometimes. She has to be reminded that she worries about you. A lot of women stop caring about men because those women forget that they worry about the men. So you have to give her those opportunities to worry. And she has to understand that those opportunities will come from time to time. Like, hey, lad, yeah, listen. Sometimes you won't hear from me. And you're just going to have to sit there and miss me. It is what it is. I swear to God, that's my shit. You won't believe how many times I said that to my bitches. You gotta miss me, bitch. You gotta miss me. You just got to. You just gotta sit there and miss me. And wonder and worry about me. You have to. It's not gonna feel good. But it's necessary. Yeah, feel me? I noticed that when I purposely neg or disagree, it's too much. Because why? Because of my personality, I do it even without being conscious or on purpose. I know a lot of that is plenty of tension by itself. Doing any extra would be ruining my own game. Type shit. Good. I like that you're more self-aware now. That's good. So cut off all the ones you have to do consciously and just allow your natural personality, your natural disagreeable personality to flow. It's good. Also, I used to feel like it's illegal to neg these 10s, but it's making peace with it. But I'm making peace with it. Good. It makes me look more trustworthy in her eyes, apparently. It does. Women don't trust men that agree with them all the time. That's a bitch. Women call those men bitches and snakes. Only a man that's a snake agrees with everything a woman says. And is just looking for an opportunity to say the right things and mirror her actions and words. Ugh. Women don't trust men like that. Because if you'll say whatever to get in her pants, that means you'll do whatever too. And that means you're the kind of person that will sell himself out and throw his own identity in the trash just to get into a woman's legs. That's fucking pathetic. It's gross. Let's see. Is sex on the first date something you should expect, or is it unrealistic for most scenarios? It's something you should generally expect. It's not something that you should always be trying to go for, but it's something you should expect in general. Because if you're a sexy guy and women find you attractive, then yeah, it's going to happen. If you know how to conduct yourself as an attractive person, if you know how to behave correctly, the behavioral cues, you fire the correct ones. Also, how much do you say when she asks how you're manipulating her? Huh? How much do I say when she asks how you're manipulating her? Huh? How much do I say? Like revealing how I manipulate. Women aren't gonna ask you those things. They're not. If at all they do, it's gonna be like in a playful way. Like, don't worry about those things. If at all that happens, just play it off. It's nothing. Like, hey, I'm manipulating you. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, sweetheart. Don't worry about it. Again, like, what are you gonna do? Start sitting there like, this is what I'm doing. This is the teaching of the game. Like, are you goofy? Come on. How often should you make her worry? All the fucking time. The more the better. The more the better. The difference between the guy she wants and the guy she can live without is how much the first one makes her worry more. Right? So one makes her worry, but the other makes her worry a lot. So the more the better. I be breaking the fourth wall like I'm Deadpool. That's funny. You can. By the way, I don't know if that's a Germany only thing, but many girls here hate the idea of dates. They prefer to go to meets, so basically framing it as platonic. Do you think it's because of plausible deniability? And do you think sex on the first date is something we should try to get? I already heard that one. But the Germany thing, like I heard even in Sweden, right? The girls don't go on dates. They go on fika. It's something I learned recently. Shout out to Swedish girls. Y'all some bad bitches. Only the ones in Stockholm, though. The rest of you, the neighboring provinces, ugly bitches. But I'm kidding. No, I'm not. So they go on these things called fika, which is just like a friendly meetup, apparently, right? It doesn't really matter. It's an excuse to meet them anyway. Use it. You can always sexualize the meetup anyway. What creates the context of the meetup isn't necessarily what you and her agree upon. It's what you create. It's really that simple. So, go from there. Let's see. Damn, I just tanked that. Ha, that's funny. Because I ruined a few dates by rushing it because of that. Oh, I see. Don't do that. Just literally go through with like whatever meetup they're comfortable with. Just go on the meetup. And then sexualize during the meetup. There's no rule that says that you can't fuck a girl you met at a meetup. Right? Just like there's no rules that says that you can't fuck a girl that you met at a fucking Comic-Con, the grocery store, church, wherever. There's no rule against that. You can eventually get naked with any of these girls. Keep that in mind. The girl said it would be friendly and it was nothing but tension anyway. It's funny. All right, I gotta go. I gotta bounce. You guys already know what deal it is, what time it is. Go to my link in my bio, get my free course, Self-Belief, get the interview. It's the course that I made that talks about everything about how to incorporate a girl from stranger to your loving girlfriend, all in one giant system. And as a bonus in it, there's all these amazing things in there, like the fundamental laws of the game, the understanding of tension and value, these core concepts and principles in the game. And I've also added digital pre-selection, which is my entire course for how to conduct yourself online and how to get consistent, steady matches on online dating apps, full with all kinds of cool examples, reports, all that kind of cool stuff. So go in there, get that stuff. I'll see you guys later. I love you guys so much. Please actually practice this game I give you and do with all this information what you must.